are back on the Mountain Morning Show. I'm very excited to introduce to you our next guests in studio. To my far right, Travis H. Bray, PhD, Previver, and founder and president of the Familial Adenomatous Polyposis Foundation, which we're going to learn about here in just a moment. And also to my right, Shawnie Bray, caregiver and vice president of the same foundation. Welcome to the show, both of you. How are you this morning?
Doing well.
Fine. Good. I'm so glad to have you guys here. This is such a wonderful cause that you've started, and I know there's lots out there that will be equally as interested in what you have going on. So first up, before we get into the event and what you have, Travis, describe for me, what is this foundation that you guys have put together and what is it all about?
So familial adenomatous polyposis.
There you go.
There you go. It's okay. It took me a long time to learn how to say it myself. It's a disease that the name actually describes. So familial means it's genetically inherited. Adenomatous means cancer causing, and polyposis means the growth of polyps. And so for me, you mentioned I was a Previver.
Yeah.
When I was 15 years old, I'm a third generation FAP patient, or FAP patient. And when I was 15 years old, they had to take out my colon to keep me from developing colon cancer. So just like with what you've been hearing about breast cancer and mastectomies,
yes,
we have hereditary colon cancer, we have colectomies. And so with the foundation, the background behind that is I had my colectomy when I was 15, and because they were preemptive, I had really good quality of life. For like 20 years. It was really benign and kind of the background. And then I went through this 6-month period of just chronic illness with doctors trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And I started turning to the internet, trying to figure out, get a better sense of what the patient experience is like, what kind of resources were out there, education, anything to kind of better understand what was going on with me. And there just wasn't much there that wasn't clinical, that wasn't put out by a hospital, or there wasn't much there that was like healthy social interactions.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it was on Facebook, and it was the really hard hit patients really kind of freaked out by what was going on. And so I got better, thankfully, but I took that experience as a place where I could work and something that we could do to help these other patients who aren't always as fortunate as I am.
So how valuable, Shawnie, is it to have an organization like this? So you mentioned your experience and not having as much of that kind of support group, and why you think it's so valuable to start this now. It's been around for about a year, right?
Yeah. Hopefully to be very valuable for patients. When Travis was sick 2 years ago, we were, as he mentioned, lots of doctor's appointments. It was really scary as his wife to see the lack of information that the doctors had. He saw probably 6 different doctors, and he was the expert on his disease for those doctors, and the internet wasn't very useful to us. And once we came under the care of a specialist and a team of specialists, it was such a relief. And there aren't that many of those centers around the country, a little over 30 of them. But once we came under the care, they had expertise, they taught us, we learned, he got better. And our goal is to get more patients who have hereditary colon cancers, including FAP. The more patients we can get to these specialized care units, the better.
And what was actually kind of crazy is that from a patient standpoint is we were living in the suburbs of Chicago. There was a specialist 20 miles away. My general GI didn't even know.
Wow.
So knowing had he not had a patient that had FAP, he didn't even know that there was actually 2 specialists in downtown Chicago that he could send me to. I met my doctor by accident. So, and then that's what you see on Facebook a lot, is a lot of patients who are under the care of generalists who have never had a patient with this disease before, and it's a very dynamic condition.
So it's something they would certainly need a lot more help than what they may be getting from that general physician.
Absolutely.
Point.
And one of the goals too is to educate the general physicians. We have an upcoming webinar where some specialists at the Huntsman Cancer Institute are going to be to help educate other GIs how to recognize and early detection and prevention of colon cancer.
When is the webinar?
It's October 30th.
October 30th. But before we get to that, you guys have a really great event happening
Yes.
October 20th, this Sunday. And I love your whole approach to raising awareness and funds for an organization, because usually we see like a 5K to raise money for this or that, or even a marathon or whatever. But you guys have chosen a different approach. I think one that really allows us to integrate a healthier lifestyle over time. Describe for me what this is.
Right. The 21-day challenge, you pick your challenge. You go online, you register, pay $30, get your t-shirt, just like any other fundraising event. But then for 21 days, you commit to a goal to get healthier. So that can be emotional health, physical health, financial health, or even kick the habit type of health.
Nice. And I love this. It's so broad because initially my thought was, oh, you know, exercise and eating healthy are the two obvious ones. But give some examples of some other things we can do, Travis.
Well, this actually started with when I got well, I wanted to ride around Lake Michigan. And so I was going to do that in 21 days. It's about 1,000 miles and raise money that way. So that, like, it started out with a great challenge for me to be able to, like, kind of recover myself. Some of the challenges that are very popular, now, we're thinking about like a patient who's homebound, maybe they're sick with this disease or maybe they had cancer. This is kind of what we were gearing towards, or we wanted to be able to include. So some of the patients or some of the people that are doing it are doing a 21-day gratitude journal. They just want to be happy for 21 days or 21 days of, there's one that used to do photography and she got out of it because of chronic illness. And so for 21 days, she's going to do photography or 21 days of art. From one of our old board members, life got too busy. She's working all the time, kids, family, and she used to love art. So for 21 days, Carla will be doing art, you know, like she used to do.
And then we have other people who are feeling really great, like Travis, and people who are touched by the disease or maybe just want to give back, and so they're doing more physically aggressive things. We have a woman who's going to do a 5K every day, and then someone who is running minimum of 6 miles every day in preparation to do a half marathon by the end of the 21 days.
Great.
So people can really pick their level of challenge.
And another one that particularly stuck out to me is have, and I mentioned this to Joe earlier, have one meal all together with your family a day for 21 days. And I mean, there's research in so many of these things saying how much that contributes to your emotional health. I mean, they're huge changes, really. And I think technically after 21 days, if you're in habit for 21 days, you should be able to integrate that long term, right?
That's
what you guys are going for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I love that you guys are doing this and that you're involving the community in the way that you are. Is there like ideas you have for, I mean, you mentioned some ideas, but do we have, you have an online community there that actually assist with helping people stay on task, right? Tell me about this.
So when people register, they are taken to a list of 30 ideas, or you can customize your own, you can write your own in, and you choose your idea, and then if you're willing to share that with the community, you publish that on Facebook. And we have an intern who, her background is emotional support and therapy. We have a nutritionist from Whole Foods here in Park City who's working with us, and then myself as an exercise specialist. So you have 3 people who will support you. So once you choose a goal, we'll make sure that the goal will help you make sure it's really specific and achievable for you over the 21 days. And then this whole online community, we have over 300 people who've already committed online to this cause, and they're already supporting each other online. When people write down what they're doing, other people are encouraging them, giving them suggestions, ideas, feedback. We had one woman who planned to do yoga, that's what she wanted to do, and then a recent doctor's appointment, she found out that she's going to be going through chemotherapy during this time, and her doctor said yoga isn't going to be feasible. So she posted that on there. She was sad about that, but then the community really rallied and gave her other suggestions so that she wouldn't give up and she could still do something to take control of her health for 21 days.
That is amazing, and I love that because it really does create that long-term community support, and we know that it's always easier to change a habit or to adjust something in your lifestyle when you have a big group backing you in the way that this is. What are you most excited about, Travis, in seeing this event come together? What do you hope that people take away from it?
Well, actually, it's the hope. You know, I got started with wanting to take control of my disease, and that's how for me, this challenge really got started, was empowering the patients who have hereditary colon cancer to take control of their well-being, take control of their happiness. Like, what I've seen so much is a lack of hope in this community. And so I just wanted to be able to see these 300 people come away just feeling a little bit better about themselves, feeling a little bit better about their condition, with a sense of hope that everything's not going to be perfect, maybe, but it'll be a lot better than it was, you know, just
especially after you completed a goal like you guys are setting out there with them. That's so wonderful, and it takes place at Whole Foods, right?
So it's an online event. Anyone can register on our website, and they can participate from home wherever they are in the world. And we do have people participating outside the U.S. And they can do their challenge wherever they'd like. And then if people do here locally want to join us for a kickoff celebration, it'll be at Whole Foods Sunday the 20th from 8 to 10 a.m. Whole Foods is
The Whole Foods
in Park City.
Yes.
The Whole Foods in Park City from 8 to 10. They'll get a free healthy breakfast to start their healthy challenge, and then a pass for the Basin Recreation Fieldhouse. And then there's also a bunch of gift certificates we'll be raffling away from local businesses who want to support this event.
All right, very good. Anything else to add this morning? I think we covered it. Where can we find out more information online?
At www.hcctakesguts.org, and that stands for Hereditary Colon Cancer Takesguts.org.
Very good. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us, for
having us.
sharing your experience, specifically, Travis. Thank you for giving us a little glimpse of what it's like to experience what you have. And I know that many people need to learn more about it, and you can do that by participating in this event. It Takes Guts, the 21-day challenge, kicking off this Sunday. And I love that people from around the world are actually being part of it as well. It's not
That's
just
great.
a Park City event. So thank you.
Thank you,
very
Chelsea.
much, and good luck with
Thank
the
you very
event.
much.
Thanks.
Thanks for
We'll be right
having us.
back after this quick break. We have a really fun check it out video for you. It's coming up in just a minute.